My name is Bethany Carniff. This video is about the Pueblo revolt. Now, what is the Pueblo revolt? It's about when the Pueblo Indians revolted against the Spaniards in 1680 in early New Mexican history. Now, we're not gonna go through some timelines and we're not gonna go through city events. We're gonna talk about stories and how the Pueblo Indians revolted against the Spaniards. What was the ultimate purpose of the revolt in the first place? Why did they revolt? What made them revolt against the Spaniards who, in the way, what was their ultimate purpose in coming to New Mexico and taking over the Pueblo Indians in the first place? In the early 1500s, there was this huge rumor that spread out through all of the country of Europe that there was this massive city of gold. This place was called Pueblo, and only the natives knew about it. When the rumor spread throughout all of America, the Spanish king decided to send troops and soldiers over there to say, hey, you gotta find this gold, no matter what it takes. So a huge colony came searching for the city of gold, which is the ultimate reason why people inhabited the south part of North America in the first place. 120 years would pass, and still no gold. But the king was getting impatient, and yet the Spaniards were colonizing New Mexico so fast. They were building towns, getting resources, and yet their ultimate goal was to have as much wealth as they can for their king back in Spain. The big part in all of this whole rebellion was the Catholic Church. They were the big pieces in this game as towards the Indians. The Indians were having troubles with their nemesis, the Apaches and the Navajos, so the church offered them protection in order for their work to maybe get the gold or maybe get the wealth. And in order to have this wealth, they needed the Indians to produce it. But as time would keep ticking on, another 40 years, their time would be ticking up, and sure before the Indians would just crack about how their methods were. As times were starting to get desperate for the Spaniards and changing as well, the Pueblo Indians' lives were changing much greater than the Spaniards. Even though they were colonizing and becoming bigger and better for Spain, the Pueblo Indians gave up everything in order to have their lives protected from the Navajos and the Apaches. The Pueblo Indians were forced to abandon their religion from the Catholic Church to adopt Christianity. In a way, it was to pay tribute towards the Spanish rulers, but also they gave up their culture, their religion, their traditions, everything in order just to be safe. They gave up their labor, they gave up their clothes. For men, they had to cut their hair in order to become part of the church, in order to be safe from people that could threaten their lives. And if any resistance, it meant imprisonment, torture, and in worst case, amputations. Suddenly, somebody decided to take a stand against the Spaniards to get their lives back, and his name was Pape. Now, people know this as the Pueblo Revolt, but also a most popular name is Pape's Rebellion. He orchestrated this whole thing in August. It took him about 3 weeks. He rose up a secret rebellion within a 300-mile radius with 70 communities, and then on August 10, 1680, he led 2,500 Indian warriors to the colonial headquarters where he sacked and burned the entire place. So looking back at both stories, the Spaniards, all they wanted to do was to basically obey the king's orders, to get the gold, to be rich, to do this, to expand, to make Spain great. But also they learned that in desperate times calls for desperate measures, whether it means torturing the Indians to get information. Now for the Pueblo Indians, it was more along the lines for their rebellion was to protect their family, to be safe, to keep their culture alive away from the Apaches and the Navajos. But also they needed to stay true to themselves by keeping their tradition alive. In order for that to happen, they had to revolt. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it all, and I hope to hear from you soon.